second Saturday.
We go together.
New metal cover every second Saturday.
When I'm underneath the bottle line.
New metal cover every second Saturday. New metal cover every second Saturday.
From the underground, I don't need my drugs. We could be more than just part-time lovers. I can feel your touch. Keep me up from the underground. I don't need my drugs. We could be more than just part-time lovers. We could be more than just part-time lovers.
Second Saturday.
Hey guys, this is Tori from UMC, and I just
New metal cover every second Saturday.
Beat my side.
Mütze.
Yeah.
Hey, oh, Captain Jack! Hey, oh, Captain Jack! Bring me back to the railroad track! Bring me back to the railroad track!
Running to the river track. Running from the Captain Jack. Running to the east and back. Running from the Captain Jack.
Hey, Michelle.
How are we doing?
Yes. Just okay. May I please have a number 2? What's that?
Bacon. Company.
Yes.
Baconator, son of Baconator.
Baconator.
What would you like to drink?
Grape Sprite.
Small, medium, large?
Medium.
Anything else?
No, thank you.